Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm Peter. Can you imagine surroundings better than this? Just take a look. This is Denmark at its very best, the middle of the summer and in the middle of the most beautiful nature you can ever imagine. And here I am with my FX Impact M4 in 177 ready to shoot at 200 meters or 218 yards. For quite a while now I've been working on getting the best possible tune for the best possible slug. So with the 20 grainers from H&N at just around 890 feet per second, I'll see if I can punch in something that resembles a decent group at this distance. Usually when I'm shooting here at my channel, I don't punch in just like a bunch of groups and show you the best ones. But that's actually what I'm gonna do today, because shooting such a small caliber at this distance, I don't really expect too much consistency. So this is more like just having fun, being curious, and to see what kind of groups I can punch in for the day. The landscape here is both beautiful and has a remarkable history. The valleys and fjords has been formed by the giant glaciers during the Ice Age, leaving it as some of the most remarkable nature I have ever experienced. Down to the right you can see my car called the Silverfish and my bench. And as we move on we get closer to the target that I have set up out at 200 meters. Looking at it like this, it gives a good impression of how far 200 meter really is, at least if you're shooting a 177. For those of you who's been following me for a while, you'll know that I have two forest ranges. And one of them is covered by this forest of pine trees that are growing on a hill that slopes around 25 meters. So when the wind is coming from a southern direction, I'm pretty well sheltered. This is a view of the range from the northern direction, and as you can see, it's not a place I'll shoot when the wind is blowing from the north. Taking a 180-degree turn, you can see a little white dot there in the field, and that's the target for today. Let's finish off the tour from behind the target and make our way back to the car and the bench. Everything's now ready to shoot here at 200 meters or 218 yards. And you'll have to excuse me for the quality or the lighting on this video, because the background is so light and I appear quite dark. But sadly I don't have equipment that's better than this, so you'll have to bear with me on this one. I'll take a few shots and then go for the target. Seems like the velocity is there, 891. Yeah. There's too much wind today. This tailwind is really difficult to control at this distance. I would say shooting at 100 I wouldn't even attempt some decent groups with a wind like this, but yeah, anyway. The result of this session is not what I hoped for. So in order to keep it short, I'll just show you some of the groups that I shot for the day. This first one is actually a 6-shot group, and 5 of these shots were within 5.3 centimeters, which is very, very acceptable. But sadly, there was one that dropped quite a lot. This next group is pretty much the same story. 4 shots within, I don't know, but anyway, a pretty decent group, and then just one that drops compared to the others. This third group is just, yeah, what can you say? Not a piece of rubbish, still remembering that I shot this group at 200 meters. But anyway, this is not what I hoped for in this session. This last target I want to show you is actually 8 shots, and that's because I kept on shooting after having fired 5 shots. And here you can actually see what a tailwind really does to your groups. And that's no matter if you're shooting at shorter ranges or at long ranges like I did today. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. I was here shooting at 200 meters like a couple of weeks ago, and I shot a 7.5 centimeter group. That I hope to maybe shoot better today, or maybe just equal it. But anyway, it was just a whole bunch of nothing, because yeah, here's the excuses, but the wind was supposedly coming from this direction, but up through this, I don't know what you call it, it's like the wind turned and I had a full tailwind, which is not good, especially when you're shooting long distance. It makes the velocity very difficult to control. So nothing else to do than pack up for today and come back another day to repeat the attempt. Now it's a couple of days later and I'm back here at the range, having set up the target at 200 meters. So let's see if I can punch in some better groups than I did the other day. The wind has changed quite a bit, so now it's more like from a northeastern direction, which means that half of the range is completely sheltered, but there's just the last 100 meters that it is a bit windy, so not all of the best conditions, and it's just me making excuses again. You can hear it, right? Yeah, but anyway, there is wind and on the second part of the range. So without further to say, let's jump right into it and see if we can punch in some decent groups. Yeah, once again difficult to see, but let's check them out. Going down to check out the groups. I got 2 measuring tapes. This one, big one, it's 10 centimeters or just around 4 inches. And this one, smaller one, half the length, it's 5 centimeters or just around 2 inches. And of course I hope that I'll be able to measure at least one of the groups with a small measuring tape. The last time I was here, well, not the last time, because that was when there was so much wind, but the time, before that I shot a group of 7.5 centimeters, and I was actually pretty happy with that. So yeah, just want to make it a little bit better. But the funny thing is that when being in a situation like this, weather is good, surroundings are nice, nice gun, and I mean, look at this place. It's just so fantastic, and it just strikes me that sometimes it doesn't really matter about the groups. Of course it does in a certain way, but the most important thing about being here today is actually just, yeah, having fun and enjoying myself. Yeah, enjoying Denmark in the summer. Okay, closing in on the target. It looks like there's actually one group that's pretty good. Let's check them out. Let's skip the others and go directly to the best one. This one, 5 shots, and sadly it seems like I have to use the big measuring tape, but what is that? That is 7.4 centimeters here, 200 meters. That's not too bad. It beats my previous record by 1 millimeter. You know, everything counts. And let's take a look at the rest of them. This one, well over 10 centimeters. Same there. This one is, yeah. These 3 groups here are actually about the same size, but this one down here, that's a pretty sweet group. And if I have to make up excuses, which I of course have to, it seems like the wind is having an effect here in the second part of the range. The first 100 meters are pretty okay, but then during the last 100 meters it starts to affect the bullets, or the slugs. But anyway, I think shooting this at on a day with no wind at all, I wouldn't be surprised to see if I could use the small measuring tape for the groups. But if you made it so far to my in this video, I can let you in on a little secret. These long range shots are gonna be a bigger part of my channel in a very near future, and not just some long shots, but some extremely long shots, and that's all I'm gonna say for now. To round up the shooting for these couple of days, I just want to show you a funny little 3-shot group that I shot. It is a 1.2 centimeter group. Not that it matters at all because I'm shooting 5-shot groups, but anyway, this might be an indication of what we might have in the future. And what a fantastic couple of days it has been here on my 200 meter range. Surroundings so beautiful. I've had such a good time, and finishing off with a group like this, 7.4 centimeters here at 200 meters, it's good. Talking about the other groups that I shot, they were, well, on average between 10 and 11 centimeters, so not all that impressive. But saying it once again, going here on a day with no wind at all, I'm pretty sure that I can do some pretty good groups, at least better than this 7.4 centimeter group. And just because some might ask, the setup of the gun has been, of course, in 177, shooting the 20 grainers from H&N at an average velocity around 890 feet per second. I've been adjusting it between 882 perhaps, and perhaps up close to 900, but the best accuracy I found maybe just below 890 feet per second. I have the 700 millimeter heavy liner in my gun and loving it all the way. As an additional info here at the end of the video, I just want to show you the table that I'm using. I bet that you all know these kinds of tables. You can get them like anywhere for nothing, but if you use them as they are, they're kind of wobbly. So I made some minor changes to mine. So if you look at it down here, you can see that I applied these pieces of wood and even made this base for the legs to rest on, and then just tightening them down like this, so it's actually pretty sturdy. And then for my arms not to wobble around, I have this. It's like a mat that I just roll out, and voila, you have a shooting table. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I decided to dedicate this one to the godfather of heavy metal and a fellow airgunner, Ozzy Osbourne, who sadly passed away the other day. I want to remember Ozzy Osbourne as a fantastic musician, but also as a passionate airgunner. So Ozzy, wherever you are, take care and shoot safe.